On today's episode, we're going to follow back up with Low Voltage Nation. I told you to keep an eye on this group.
Don't hang up that phone. We've found what you're looking for. Welcome to the Let's Talk Cabling Podcast with Chuck Bowser, RCDD. What exactly does RCDD stand for? Registered Communications Distribution Designer. Just the expert you need to ensure your cable plant performs exactly as designed. Now, send the new guy to the truck for a bucket of dial tone and the cable stretchers, while you listen to an informative program on telecommunications.
Welcome to the show where we tackle the tough questions submitted by installers, project managers, estimators, and customers. We're connecting at the human level so that we can connect the world. If you're watching this show on YouTube, would you mind hitting the bell button to be notified when new episodes are published? If you're listening to us on a podcast platform, would you mind giving us a 5-star rating? Those couple little steps helps us beat that nasty algorithm to get this message out so we can educate, encourage, and enrich the life of everybody in this industry. Thursday nights, 6 p.m., after hours live stream on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, where you get to ask your favorite RCDD your questions. Of course, that would be me. But remember, we're not doing any until January. We're kind of on a break for the month of December. Also, if you consider that this platform valuable, would you mind subscribing through Patreon or one of the other platforms that helps pay for the cost of this podcast? Now, as I said, Low Voltage Nation is a group that I participate in, and I keep an eye on because they are making a huge impact to our industry. And we haven't talked to them in a while, so I'm bringing them back so we can follow up on some stuff we talked about before and some new stuff that they got going on. Blake, welcome back to the show. How you doing, buddy?
Yes, I love it. I'm good, man. How you been, Chuck? Good to see you.
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just lighting the road on fire. I never, you helped me with this journey a long ways, and you gave me some great suggestions. Like, Chuck, get on TikTok. And I'm like, why do I want to get on TikTok? That's where they do those dancing videos. Why would I want to be
You don't
there?
have to dance on TikTok. You're doing a good job because you're communicating with the audience and you're actually providing them with some like good information and value. A lot of times people like to do the trends and the dancing, and it's just like whatever. But
Yeah.
I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah, funny thing is, I'm getting a lot more traction on TikTok than I am on my other platforms. I am at 900 subs right now. I can't wait for that last 100 so I can start doing live streams on TikTok. That's gonna be cool.
So it takes 1,000 to do
Yeah.
live streams. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Matter of fact, you're gonna be the first to hear this. I was gonna make a TikTok video for this later. I'm gonna put out a $100 gift card to some one of my random subscribers once I hit 1,000. So
That's awesome.
there you go.
Can't
You're the first to hear it.
Yep.
You're
Cool,
the
man.
first to hear it. So let's talk about some things that have been happening. Last time you and I talked, you were just getting ready to launch the fiber scholarship, right?
Yeah.
Where do we stand on that?
So we're looking to do it in Nashville. We're looking for we'll probably do it at like a hotel, unless somebody wants to host it. It would be nice to have like an actual company that has fiber technicians that would want to host it, but we'll probably just do it at a hotel, get a conference room, hang out there for about 3 to 4 days. So we're doing it in Nashville. It's going to be in March. So we wanted to do it after BICSI, kind of let the dust settle from the BICSI conference. But we are partnering up. I don't know if I can really talk a lot about the things we got going on, but there's a couple of things we're doing with Fiber Optic Association. Lee Renfro from GoFro, he's going to be the trainer, and we're bringing in some other guys to do training as well. So just to recap what the scholarship is, it's going to be 6 aspiring fiber optic technicians that want to get their CFOT, FOA CFOT. That's kind of like the entry level fiber optic technician certification through Fiber Optic Association. So that's coming down in March. Look out for that. We're building a whole new platform to kind of funnel everybody into it, and that'll be where we'll make the announcements as well as LinkedIn. So just keep an eye out on that. There's a lot of information coming after BICSI conference in March.
So have you already selected the 6 students, or is that process still open?
We've already got about 45 applicants, and we've selected 3. So there's 3 slots left, but we haven't looked through all the applications. You can still apply if somebody's like really like, hey, I'm a company that has fiber optic technicians that need to be because we want them to have jobs lined up basically. So if there is a company that comes in and say, hey, I got a couple guys and they want to get involved and maybe do some sponsorships for it, that's an option too. So it still is open for receiving applications.
That's good to hear. And it's always been, fiber's been one of those areas of subject matters that the guys who know it kind of keep that information close to their chest, and they don't want to tell somebody else because they're afraid that you might take their job and whatever. And it's always been that mysterious thing that guy does over there, but don't watch him because he might get mad at you.
Yeah,
I'm super glad to see you guys doing that.
We need fiber optic technicians. There's no stealing jobs. Like, we don't have enough technicians to fill the jobs. That's why there's such a huge need and why we're really pushing forward on this.
Right. And that's all I always say, in teaching you learn, and learning you teach. So
yes, sir.
If you know it, teach it to somebody, because it makes you more familiar with that subject matter.
Yeah. To teach somebody makes you learn it better, for sure. Yeah, I love that.
Especially when they ask you questions and you're like,
yeah, you gotta
I don't know that. I don't know that answer.
You don't want to look like an idiot in front of a classroom, so you definitely learn it before you go up in front.
I learned a long time ago as a teacher. If somebody asks me a question that I don't know, I'll tell them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll get back to you tomorrow, and then you'll learn it that evening.
I will find out for you, and I will get you that information, because I know a lot of smart people.
Exactly.
Because some students will ask you a tough question that they already know the answer to, just to see if you know that.
Oh, they're just testing you. That's all.
Oh yeah. Happens every single class. Single class.
That's funny.
You also mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned the dust selling from the BICSI conference.
Oh boy, yeah.
I saw on was it a LinkedIn post or a Facebook post? I can't remember where I saw it.
Facebook is the only post that I mentioned. Getting a booth. There's some other stuff going on too. We got some live podcast stuff we might be doing for the Wednesday keynote. That's going to be interesting. But we are getting a booth. Yeah.
So you'll be not a virtual booth or an actual booth?
It's going to be a physical booth. Yeah, it's going to be right by the Cabling Skills Challenge. There's I've never been to a BICSI conference, so I'm just kind of like going in. I'm doing like a keynote. I'm going in with the booth. I'm doing everything. So it's going to be right by the Cabling Skills Challenge, where we'll hopefully get a little like podcast studio, a couple microphones. I'll have some swag, but we want to be as close to the Cabling Skills Challenge area as possible, and kind of just pull people in and interview them and have a chat or whatever. So it's going to be interesting.
I'm gonna have to stop by. I'm not registered to attend the conference yet. That kind of really all depends on some factors or not. But I'm definitely coming over a couple of nights just to go through the exhibit hall. So I'll definitely coordinate with you and come by and stop and say hi, and maybe do a couple TikTok videos while I'm there.
I think we should. Yeah, if you're going to be in that area, yeah, let's definitely connect.
Yeah. So let's talk about the meetups. You stopped them for a while because of COVID. How are you guys doing on those meetups?
So we've kind of transitioned the meetups into actual like charity events and where we're building stuff. So we have one that's going to be, it's not going to be until the end of December 2022. So that is another charity project where we get people to submit an application if they need infrastructure built, structured cabling, access control, surveillance. So that's the meetup. We want to be able to build stuff and give back to the community. That's the main mission of the meetups moving forward. And then doing the trainings. So the Fiber Optic Association scholarship is going to be a meetup basically. So we're kind of transitioning. We just don't want to like get into a room and just talk and network. We want to actually build stuff. That's kind of the direction we're going in right now.
So that's cool. So you're gonna model the fiber optic scholarship training much like your meetups.
Yeah, it's going to be an event. I mean, people are going to be in town, so we might as well, do some meetup stuff. We're doing hands-on, fiber training, so we might as well get some content and make that into the meetup.
That's cool. Because I really, just from seeing your posts on the meetups and stuff, I always like how you guys do. You build a rack and you terminate and you test stuff and you plug stuff in and I can't wait till I can get to one of your meetups. I'm going to come to one of them.
If you want to host one, I mean, it's open to anybody who wants. If they're an ambassador of Low Voltage Nation, they want to host one. I'll be more than happy to to delegate that task of coordinating it. If they want to just host a small get together and report back to the mothership, then that'll be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely, because I like that kind of learning, because most people, most technicians, not necessarily male or female, but most people in our industry are tactile learners, right?
Yeah,
They can sit in front of a screen and they can learn that way, but they're going to learn a lot better when you start putting stuff in their hands.
Exactly.
Why do I have cables sitting on my desk?
Yeah.
I wonder why. I got an array of stuff sitting over here because I'm getting ready, as soon as I get off with you, I'm teaching a class. So, and
Yeah.
it's a Hawaii class. It doesn't start until like afternoon my time. So, so I follow you guys on Facebook. I follow you guys on Slack. I follow you guys. You also have a couple of Facebook groups too, where you have the Low Voltage Nation group, and aren't you involved in that internet business thing too? The channel.
Yeah, I think I'm a member of all those groups for the most part. There's an access control one. There's an IT business owners ones. There's a telecommunications one. I mean, there's one for everything, but I'm not involved, but I am a member of them.
Right.
But I have to maintain our 3 groups. We have the big one, and it's become the largest low voltage group on Facebook. We're almost at 14,000 members. And I checked the stats yesterday, and it is about 10,000 active over the last 60 days. 10,000 people have commented or liked something, which is quite astonishing. Actually, it seems like a lot, doesn't it?
It does. Because usually when you see Facebook groups, usually a lot of people join it and they just kind of read it and monitor it as it goes by, and they don't really participate in it. But I think that's just a testament to the quality and the atmosphere that you created there of people helping people.
Yeah,
and that's why Let's Talk Cabling and Low Voltage Nation are such a good fit, because we have similar mission statements, right? And we just kind of line that way. And I think it's a testament to all the work. And a lot of people don't realize how much work is on the backside of doing all that stuff. They just see, well, all Blake does, he just shows up and does a podcast for 30 minutes somewhere, and then he probably goes golfing or goes, no, there's 5 hours worth of work on the backside of that 30 minutes.
I started putting my phone on do not disturb. I get hundreds of notifications per hour. It's insane. I've had to put in, I think we have 8 moderators in the Facebook group. And we try to keep it as professional as possible. It's getting to the point where the memes are flooding back in, and then we got there's all sorts of stuff that goes on there. It's hard to keep it at bay, but that's kind of what the Slack workspace is for. So that's the more professional, heavily moderated, like zero tolerance for any of that BS.
Yeah, I've got nailed by the Slack police a couple times, because as I was learning the platform.
Police. The thread police,
because as I would be responding to something, right, I wasn't necessarily didn't know that you had to hit the thing to reply in the thread, so I was replying but not in the thread but other places, and then the woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, I'll put the police emoji on the post and threads, please.
But you know what? It made me learn it. So I'm more careful now about doing that stuff, and that's why I like even the Facebook group. I mean, there was a big conversation going on yesterday or the day before. Somebody was doing some cabling underneath a roof of a pavilion somewhere, and the electrical inspector was giving him harassment, and he was like, yeah, but Article 800 says, chapters 1 through 7 don't apply. And I kind of chimed in and said, we don't fall under 800. We fall under 725.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. 800 is for the service provider, access provider, like Ma Bell or MCI or somebody like that. Now, a lot of 725 and 800 are similar, but so if you follow 800, you're following 725. But there are some differences, and that's what the point I tried to get across. I'm surprised because a lot of people were chiming in, and not one person came back and said, "Chuck, you don't know what you're talking about. 725, what the heck's that?" And because then I'd have lit them up. I would have said, "Hey, look, hold on, slow down here," and give them the whole diatribe.
Yeah,
it's an area that a lot of people get confused in the low voltage world. They really do. But
so you hit them with the code police in the group.
I did.
Yes. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. I love talking because you and I have a blast every time we talk, man.
Right.
And that's why I love that the Slack channel and also the Facebook, because it's not memes. It's not just, I mean, people going on there asking questions for help, asking for, hey, does anybody in, Walla Walla, Washington, I've got a project and I need some help, and everybody jumps in and helps, and I love that. I love that because I'm telling you, 40 years in this industry, it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
always like that.
Yeah, we had to start those extra groups, the LVN jobs and the LVN buy and sell group, because we got so much people posting stuff to buy and people posting jobs. We had to kind of, I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it, but we were getting flooded with job postings. So I didn't want to get it too like spammy, I guess. It's just,
Right.
it's such a delicate balancing act. So we broke out the groups.
I think you do a great job. I think you do a great job.
I try. Thank you.
Yeah. So I got to ask you this, right? So you got the Slack channel and you got the 3 Facebook groups and all the other stuff. I do know that you had a project going on where you're working on somehow consolidating it, I think through an app or something.
Yeah. So there's a mobile app. It's a dedicated mobile app for Low Voltage Nation. And the thought process is, the first screen is an endless scrolling of people can post a picture and people can upvote and downvote, kind of like Slack Overflow or Stack Overflow and like Reddit. So it's kind of like a similar, like, hey, they post a picture, does this look good? People can comment on it and upvote and downvote it. So that's the first screen. And then you have the member profiles. So that will give you a list of people that, what their credentials are, where they're located, what their specialty is, maybe do like a star rating or something, and kind of just give people an opportunity to have a profile, if they're a member of Low Voltage Nation. And the next screen is going to be the vendors that are associated with Low Voltage Nation, where you can reach out to them if there's any group discounts that are associated with their LVN gold status. So that's the third screen. And then there's going to be an events, and I'm debating on whether or not to do a job posting. So this is all in one big, very specialized ecosystem where it's a mobile app and potentially a desktop app. But what I'm trying to do is take all these disparate systems. We have Slack, we have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And if one of these platforms, go away, if Facebook is like, you know what, Low Voltage Nation, we don't want you on as a group anymore, or they change the algorithm, or something happens, or Facebook or Meta or whatever they're calling themselves, in 5 years, we want to make sure that we still have the community in one centralized place. Because one of our biggest assets really is the Facebook group, because there's so many members in there and it's so active. So I don't want that to go away. So I'm building a mobile app in my own ecosystem for it.
That's pretty smart because, Facebook and YouTube, and we're using their platform, and they can make the rules and they can change the rules like that.
I've been hit with a Google algorithm that basically like cut off about $2,000 to $3,000 of monthly recurring revenue from like ads and stuff. Like that's, if you get off the first page of Google, like you can lose your entire business. So yeah. I've been kind of burnt, in the past. I know other people that have been burnt like really bad, where they lose their entire business because of it.
Yeah, it's not just the controversial content creators. You expect those kinds of stories from people who do have like firearms channels and stuff like that. The stuff that YouTube or Facebook may not necessarily like, but we're pretty innocuous. We're just talking about cabling.
Yeah,
but we're still using their platform.
Yeah, but we build the internet, so they should be like supporting us. We build the infrastructure that these things are run on top of. So.
You hear that? Be careful, Facebook and YouTube, because we'll throw that switch.
You see that Facebook is making an automatic splicing robot that goes on the lines, on the poles. No. Have you seen that? It's just like a robot that goes like I don't know why Facebook is developing this, but they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So what's in the future plans for Low Voltage Nation?
So just keep doing what we're doing with the training is a big part of it. We want to get in more of the mentorship and apprentice into Low Voltage Nation. That's really the key focus, is how can we partner with FOA, with BICSI, maybe do some nice CEC, for the hot seats every month, maybe do like a CEC thing where we can continue the education for people, and if they become part of Low Voltage Nation, they can reap the benefits of getting the training and the mentorship and using the platform as that mentorship mechanism. So it's not just, one mentor they have the whole community to help them build up their career and figure out what path they want to take, and we'll help them get there.
Now, don't you get burnt down on us now.
Oh, I'm not. I mean, I'm pretty fired up right now. The whole BICSI thing where I'm trading them video content for the booth. So that was the agreement, just getting more involved. I feel like I'm just getting started because it's now things are opening back up. We can start traveling and get the meetups back on the schedule. So it's, we'll see what happens with this whole COVID and all this other stuff going on, but it's been an interesting ride the past 18 months, but I'm pretty fired up right now.
Yeah. I think, you mentioned the whole COVID thing, and I generally stay away from that subject on my show for lots of reasons. But I think one of the good things about COVID is it's forcing people and companies to think outside of the box and how to do business.
Sure.
I mean, if you want proof of that, just look at all the podcasts that have popped up over the last 6 months.
Right. I don't think we need any more podcasts. But.
Yeah. Until people realize, I'm making a prediction, and they'll promptly go away, because any content creator knows this. You get excited in the beginning of, oh man, I'm gonna make podcasts. And everybody's a different number. Let's say for me, it was about the 10th episode. I'm like, oh, I got to do another episode. What am I going to do it on now? And that's why I kind of shifted and started doing interviews, and that kind of really spurred me on, because now I'm getting, and also TikTok. Thank you again for lighting me up about TikTok. It's forcing me to think outside that box, and it's just, people ask me all the time, how do you come up with content? I don't.
Right.
My audience comes up with it.
Yeah, interviews are the best. I started the Low Voltage Nation podcast with interviews and just let them talk. Just have a core set of questions you ask them, and that connects you. They get to share it out to their network, and they, it's a good marketing tool basically, but you also get to learn a lot. That was why I wanted to talk to people, was to learn, pick their brain.
Yep. So, well, brother man, it's been good seeing you again. Is there anything else that you wanted to add off before we log off?
No, I appreciate, getting on the podcast. Here we are talking about podcasts, and we're still going. We're still going pretty strong with our content. Keep doing the YouTube stuff. Just keep publishing as consistently as possible, and we'll hopefully touch base at BICSI. I'm excited about that.
Oh yeah. Like I said, if I don't get to go there with my day job, I'm at least coming over a couple of the nights for the exhibit halls. Because the BICSI, the Winter Conference, is always the best one, because that's where all the new products come out.
Yeah. And
you can get free passes to go to the exhibit hall booth. So I'm at least going to go there for that. Because I remember it. I think it's like $900, $995 to go to the conference or something like that. And while Chuck does make good money, Chuck doesn't have $1,000 just floating around that I could just say, and then tell my boss I need a week's vacation.
Yeah. I had to work for my ticket. All right. I've got to make content for my ticket.
I hear you.
Cool,
all right, man. Well, we'll catch back up with you, I guess, maybe second quarter next year. And like I said, I want to keep a close eye on you and what you're doing, because we need to let everybody know the stuff, the community that you created, because you're definitely making a huge impact in this industry. And I appreciate it. I know other people appreciate it as well.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Chuck. Talk soon.
Until next time, everybody, remember, knowledge is power.
That's it for this episode of today's podcast. We hope you were able to learn something. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Also, leave a rating so we can help even more people learn about telecommunications. Until next time, be safe.